From sleeping on couches in Dallas to becoming the heartbeat of New York basketball, one man turned down over $100 million and proved that some bets pay off in ways money can't measure. Right now, at this very moment, Jalen Brunson is on an absolute tear that has the entire basketball world talking. We're in late January 2026, and this man has scored 20 or more points in 21 consecutive games. 21 straight games where he's been unstoppable. Just last week, he dropped 28 against the Kings, followed that up with 31 against the 76ers, then 20 against the Nets, and 22 against the Mavericks, his old team. He's not just playing well, he's playing at an MVP level, currently ranked 4th on the NBA's official MVP ladder. Every single night, he's proving that his decision to sacrifice over $100 million wasn't crazy at all. It was genius. And while he's putting up these incredible numbers, he's doing it from his luxury penthouse in Manhattan's West Village, where floor-to-ceiling windows give him views of the Hudson River and the city he's helping resurrect. His days start early with workouts, then practice, then games where 20,000 fans at Madison Square Garden chant his name. After the final buzzer, he heads back to his Greenwich Lane penthouse, just minutes from the arena, where his wife Ollie and their young child are waiting. He's living the dream, but he's staying grounded. No flashy social media posts, no drama, just basketball, family, and a quiet commitment to being great. This is a guy averaging 28 points and 6 assists per game this season while shooting nearly 48% from the field. And he's doing it all while being one of the most underpaid superstars in the entire league. But here's the thing, he doesn't care about being the highest paid. He cares about winning. And right now, with the Knicks sitting at 25 wins and 17 losses and sitting 3rd in the Eastern Conference, he's closer to that goal than ever before. Picture this. You're sitting in a luxury penthouse in Manhattan's West Village, floor-to-ceiling windows showing you the Hudson River and the city that never sleeps. You're 27 years old. You just became an all-star for the 3rd straight year, and you're the captain of the New York Knicks. But here's the crazy part. You could have had an extra $113 million in your bank account right now, but you said no. You turned it down. On purpose. Most people think you're insane, but Jalen Brunson knows something they don't. He's playing a different game entirely, and right now, he's winning in ways that go far beyond a paycheck. Let's go back to where this whole story really begins. It's 2022, and Jalen Brunson is playing for the Dallas Mavericks. He's good, really good, but he's living in the shadow of Luka Doncic. Everyone sees him as the sidekick, the second option, the guy who helps the star shine brighter. Dallas knows he's valuable, but they're not ready to bet everything on him. They want to wait. They tell him to be patient, play 20, maybe 25 games into the next season, and then they'll talk about a real contract. But Jalen looks at that offer and sees something else. He sees doubt. He sees a team that doesn't fully believe in him. And in that moment, he makes his first big bet on himself. He walks away from Dallas and signs a 4-year, $104 million deal with the New York Knicks. People laugh. Sports analysts say he's making a mistake. They say he's just another player who couldn't make it work in Dallas. But Jalen doesn't care about the noise. He knows what he can do. Fast forward to his first season in New York. Madison Square Garden, the most famous arena in basketball, becomes his stage. And Jalen doesn't just perform, he dominates. He's averaging nearly 24 points per game. He's running the offense like he's been doing it his whole life. The Knicks, a team that's been struggling for years, suddenly have hope again. Fans who've been disappointed season after season start believing. They start chanting his name. They start wearing his jersey. And Jalen, he's just getting started. By his second season, he's not just good, he's elite. He makes the All-Star team. He gets all NBA honors. He finishes 5th in MVP voting. He's averaging almost 29 points per game. And in the playoffs, he does something that only Michael Jordan had done before. He scores 40 or more points in 4 straight playoff games while dishing out at least 5 assists in each one. Think about that for a second. Only him and Jordan. That's the kind of company he's keeping now. The Knicks make it to the Eastern Conference Finals for the first time since 2000. An entire generation of New York fans who'd never seen their team get that far are going absolutely crazy. Jalen's not just a good player anymore. He's a superstar. He's the guy. And everyone knows it. Now here's where the story gets really interesting. It's July 2024. Jalen's contract is structured in a specific way that gives him options. He could wait. He could play out more of his deal and then sign a massive 5-year, $270 million maximum contract. That's life-changing money. That's generational wealth on top of generational wealth. But the Knicks come to him with a different idea. They want to build a championship team around him. But to do that, they need financial flexibility. The NBA has something called the luxury tax in the second apron, which basically means if you spend too much money, you get penalized and you can't make certain moves to improve your team. The Knicks need space. They need to be able to keep guys like Karl Anthony Towns, Mikal Bridges, and Aga Anunoby. They need to be able to make moves. And for that to happen, they need Jalen to take less money. A lot less. They offer him a 4-year extension worth $156 million. It's still a huge amount of money, don't get me wrong. But compared to what he could get if he waited, it's a sacrifice of $113 million. Let that sink in. $113 million. That's more money than most people will see in 100 lifetimes, and he's leaving it on the table. His agent probably had a heart attack. Financial advisors around the world are shaking their heads. But Jalen doesn't hesitate. He signs the deal, and when people ask him why, he points to the teams that win championships. He talks about Tom Brady taking less money so the Patriots could build championship rosters. He mentions Patrick Mahomes doing the same thing in Kansas City. He brings up Derek Jeter and the Yankees. These guys understood something fundamental. You can be the highest paid player on a mediocre team, or you can take a little less and play for championships. Jalen chose championships, but he's not stupid about it either. Written into that contract is a player option for the 2028 to 2029 season. That means when he's 31 years old, he can opt out and sign another massive deal. By that point, if everything goes according to plan, he'll have a championship ring. He'll still be in his prime, and he'll get that huge payday anyway. It's a calculated risk, sure, but it's one that shows he's thinking long-term. He's playing chess while everyone else is playing checkers. And the really beautiful part, it's already paying off. The Knicks used that financial flexibility to make moves. They traded for Mikal Bridges, reuniting Jalen with his college teammate from Villanova. They kept Karl Anthony Towns. They kept Aga Anunoby. They built a roster that can actually compete for a championship. And Jalen's at the center of it all. Now let's talk about what's happening right now, in this 2025 to 2026 season. Because this is where the story gets even better. In December 2025, the NBA introduced a new tournament called the NBA Cup. Think of it like a mini championship in the middle of the season. Teams compete, fans get hyped, and there's real stakes. The Knicks make it all the way to the finals, and they're facing the San Antonio Spurs. Jalen absolutely explodes. Game after game, he's putting up ridiculous numbers. 29 points, then 33, then 37, then 35, then 40. He's shooting 46% from three-point range during the tournament. In the championship game, he leads the Knicks to a 124-113 victory. He's named the NBA Cup MVP. And here's what makes it even more special. This is the first championship trophy of any kind that the Knicks have won since 1973. Read that again. 1973. That's over 50 years. Jalen Brunson just ended a championship drought that's older than most of the people reading this. The city goes absolutely insane. Madison Square Garden is shaking. Fans are crying. This is what they've been waiting for, but Jalen's not done. Just a few days after winning the NBA Cup, he drops 47 points against the Miami Heat. It's his career high at Madison Square Garden. It's his season high. And it's not just empty stats. The Knicks win the game. They're building momentum. The entire month of December, he averages over 30 points and 7 assists per game. The Knicks go 10-4 for the month. And Jalen gets named the Eastern Conference Player of the Month. It's the third time in his career he's won that award, but it feels different now. It feels like he's not just having a hot streak. He's playing at an MVP level consistently, night after night after night. And the voters notice. In the All-Star voting, fans give him 2.9 million votes. That's the second most in the entire Eastern Conference, behind only Giannis Antetokounmpo. He's named an All-Star starter for the second straight year. This is his third All-Star selection overall. The kid who was picked 33rd in the 2018 draft, the second-round pick that everyone overlooked, is now one of the biggest stars in the entire league. As we're here in late January 2026, Jalen's putting together one of the most consistent stretches of basketball you'll ever see. He's reached 20 or more points in 21 straight games. 21 straight. That's not a hot streak anymore. That's just who he is now. He's averaging 28 points, 6 assists, and 3 rebounds per game for the season. He's shooting nearly 48% from the field and almost 39% from 3. And the Knicks are sitting at 25 wins and 17 losses, 3rd place in the Eastern Conference. They're a legitimate championship contender. NBA experts have Jalen ranked 4th on the official MVP ladder. 4th. Out of the entire league. A guy who took $113 million less than he could have is playing like an MVP. And he's doing it while making his teammates better, while leading his team in the playoffs race, while carrying the hopes of an entire city on his shoulders. But here's what makes Jalen's story even more special. This isn't just about basketball. This isn't just about stats and contracts and awards. Jalen's life off the court tells you everything you need to know about who he really is. He married his high school sweetheart, Ollie Marks, in 2023. High school sweetheart. In an era where athletes are constantly in the tabloids for relationship drama, Jalen's been with the same person since he was a teenager. They had their first child together on July 31, 2024. He's a husband and a father who happens to be an elite basketball player, not the other way around. And when he's not on the court, he's giving back. For 4 straight years, he's been working with an organization called Covenant House that fights youth homelessness. He doesn't just write a check and call it a day. He shows up. He hosts pre-Thanksgiving dinners for homeless kids. He organizes shopping events. He participates in their sleep-out events where people spend a night outside to raise awareness. This is a guy who's making tens of millions of dollars, and he's choosing to spend his time with kids who have nothing. That tells you about character, that tells you about values, and then there's his real estate. Well, he's got this beautiful penthouse in Manhattan's West Village, right in the heart of one of the coolest neighborhoods in New York. He's also smart with his investments. In 2025, he bought a luxury waterfront home in Ocean City, New Jersey. He's got properties across the United States. He's building wealth the right way, diversifying, investing in real estate, setting himself and his family up for life. But he's not flashy about it. He's not posting pictures of his cars and his watches on social media every day. He's low-key. He's humble. He lets his game do the talking. His penthouse in the Greenwich Lane building is gorgeous. Sure, it's got views of the Hudson River and probably Central Park. It's got all the luxury finishes you'd expect for a multi-million-dollar New York City property, but it's also just a few minutes from Madison Square Garden. It's home. It's where he can be with his family, away from the cameras and the pressure and the spotlight. It's his sanctuary in the middle of the chaos. One of the coolest parts of Jalen's New York story is the Villanova connection. See, when he played college basketball at Villanova, he won 2 national championships. He played with Josh Hart and Mikal Bridges, and they built an incredible bond. Fast forward to now, and all 3 of them are on the Knicks together. The team traded 5 first-round draft picks to get Mikal Bridges. 5. That's how badly they wanted to reunite this group. And it's working. The chemistry is obvious. Jalen and Josh Hart even have a podcast together called The Roommates Show, where they just talk and joke and give fans a behind-the-scenes look at their friendship. This isn't just a team, it's a brotherhood. And that kind of connection, that kind of trust, you can't fake it, you can't manufacture it. It's real, and it shows up on the court when the game's on the line. These guys know each other, they trust each other, they play for each other. That's how championships are won. Jalen's journey from a second-round pick to a 3-time All-Star starter is one of the best stories in modern sports. He wasn't a lottery pick. He wasn't handed anything. He had to earn every single opportunity. At Villanova, he was great, but not the star. In Dallas, he was good, but in Luka's shadow. But every step of the way, he believed in himself when others didn't. He put in the work when no one was watching. He stayed humble, stayed focused, stayed hungry. And now he's reaping the rewards. The kid who was picked 33rd is now mentioned in the same breath as the best players in the world. He's compared to Michael Jordan for his playoff performances. He's leading one of the most iconic franchises in sports history. He's got a city of 8 million people believing again, and he did it by betting on himself not once, but twice. Once when he left Dallas, and again when he took less money to build a winner in New York. Right now, as the 2025 to 2026 season rolls on, the Knicks are in a real championship race. They've got the talent, they've got the chemistry, they've got the leadership, And they've got Jalen Brunson, the point guard who turned down generational wealth because he wanted something more valuable. He wanted to be remembered. He wanted to win. He wanted to bring a championship back to New York City for the first time in over 50 years. Every night he steps on that court at Madison Square Garden, he's playing for something bigger than himself. He's playing for the fans who've stuck with this team through decades of disappointment. He's playing for his teammates who believed in him. He's playing for his family, his wife, his child. He's playing to prove that sometimes the best bet you can make isn't on the biggest contract, but on yourself and the people around you. Jalen Brunson isn't just a basketball player. He's a leader, a family man, a philanthropist, and a guy who understands that legacy matters more than luxury. His penthouse in the West Village is nice, sure, but the real home he's building is in the hearts of New York basketball fans. And that's something money can't buy. Subscribe now and watch Jalen chase the championship that could define a generation.